I don't remember who the first client was per se, but I do remember communicating with Andrew through Mixergy, right? And that's how that relationship started is I said, hey, and we were communicating for a while. I think he was living in Argentina at the time. And I said, hey, and there weren't many people doing interview podcasts at the time. I said, I'd love to have you on and feature you. And we were emailing back and forth. And the interview actually never happened. But he's like, Jeremy, I am looking for someone to help me with my show. And that was even before he came on the show. Okay. Amazing. This was in communication to ask him to be on the show. And so I do talk about this when we're talking about ROI with a podcast, because people are thinking about downloads and how do I get, they're asking questions that are like, how do I get downloads? How do I get subscribers? How do I get viewership? And my answer is it's about the relationships. Those things don't matter. Case in point with Andrew, which I never really thought about it like this, but this is before I did an interview with him. It was before, obviously, because I didn't do an interview, the interview, there's nothing live. So there's no downloads or subscribers or anything. So it's not predicated, the ROI is not predicated on downloads and subscribers. When we're talking a B2B podcast, it's just the relationships when you're communicating. That could be via text or email or phone. So that happened just via email, trying to get him on the show.
I think that kind of resonated with me because the podcast for me hasn't been it's not a revenue earner. We don't sell ads on the show. But when we survey our pipeline, I shouldn't say everybody, but I would say, I think the last time it was 80% of people that bought from us had listened to the show ahead of time. And that's one part of it. But the other part is, especially now that I'm remote, I've always been in Vancouver. I have no desire to leave Vancouver. I really like it here. But the access that a podcast has been able to give me to all of these folks, and I've been able to talk to some of the most interesting people in revenue, some of my favorite revenue leaders I've met through the show. I've had a chance to sit down and talk with them and interview them and pick their brain and learn from them. And one, the learning is tremendous, but two, just the ability to have had a conversation with them and then establish a relationship. So now when I go to Chicago, I know to hit up Jeremy. When I go to San Francisco, I have a group of folks to hit up. And when I reach out to founders, right, I have a audience that I enjoy their content. I get a chance to connect and I get to meet people that I wouldn't have had a chance of bumping into in the streets here in Vancouver or in a co-working space or in an accelerator.